Today's topic is the types of adjective, and the types of adjective, you can see here three types are mentioned here. So first we will know about what is an adjective. Adjective is the quality which we use for any person, place or thing. First type of adjective is proper adjective. The definition tells us that it is formed from a proper noun and modifies its following noun. The proper noun is Russia. For example, I have created a proper adjective from this proper noun. Proper adjective is Russian. Russian, that is a specific name that can be of any person, that can be of any thing, like we can say Russian people or Russian. So Russian are always considered as people who belong to Russia. Here I have used this proper adjective in a sentence. The example is Russian salad is famous in Pakistan. The second type of adjective is adjective of quality. The definition tells us that this adjective shows the characteristics of a person or thing. Characteristics like we can say some person that he or she is looking adorable, charming, lazy, interesting, fat, healthy, fit, and beneficial. These are some examples of adjective of quality. I have used two examples in the sentence. The students seem too lazy to do any interesting work. So the work here, interesting is the quality of work. Work is something that is very interesting, and lazy is the quality of students. Third type is adjective of quantity. It shows how much of a thing is meant. It modifies its following uncountable nouns of measurement. Like the examples are enough, little, all, sufficient, some, any, much. These examples are few. There are so many other examples which you have to find out. Uh, I have used these examples in a sentence like the white jug contains little or sufficient or some or enough water. Like if we select any one word to use in this sentence, so how we can create new sentence. The white jug contains a little water. The white jug contains sufficient water. The white jug contains some water, or the white jug contains enough water. The fourth type is adjective of number. It shows how many persons or things are meant. It is further divided into two subtypes, definite numerals and indefinite numerals. Definite numerals denote an exact number and number in series. It is further divided into two subtypes, cardinals and ordinals. Cardinals 1, 2, 3, they denote exact numbers. Ordinals first, second, third, they denote numbers in series. If we use these examples into sentence, so the sentence will be like I have one book in my bag. And the next subtype is indefinite numerals. They do not denote exact numbers. They modify their following countable nouns. The example of words are entire, whole, few, all, some, any, many, numerous, several, plenty, lots of, how they are used in the sentence. First example is several children play in the park daily. Several, like we don't know about children either. They are two, three, or four, or five, or six. So the several children. Several is a word which denotes indefinite number of children. The next is numerous pieces of the red cloth are required. Numerous pieces, like we don't know how many pieces, one piece or two pieces or three or four or five. So it is also showing the indefinite numbers. All that are considered sorrowful events. So all that we don't know about how many that's are there, one, two, or three, or four. So all is a word which denotes indefinite numbers. The next type is demonstrative adjective. it points out a person or thing, like it demonstrates a person or specific thing. And examples are this, these, that, and those. We like those things which give us profit, like we only like those things, those particular things which give us profit. And the next type is interrogative adjective. It is used with nouns to ask questions. The examples are whose, which, what, whose book is this, whose book is this, means this is a kind of interrogation, this is a kind of question, and whose is an interrogative adjective which has been used with book. The second example is which road leads to Lahore. So this is a specific road. Road has been modified by the adjective which is an interrogative adjective here. And the next type is possessive adjective. It is used according to nominal, subject, like the examples are my, your, her, his, theirs, our, its. These are all possessive adjectives. They show possession or something. The examples in the sentence are the white man is carrying your table. Your table is a specific table that belongs to you. Your is a modifier of table. Table is a noun and your is an adjective. So your as an adjective is a modifier of table, and this is your table, that is the possession of someone. The next sentence is Ali will perform his duty honestly. Like Ali will perform duty that belongs to him honestly, not of someone else. He's here. You can see the arrow representation. His has been used for Ali. So his is a possessive adjective that has been used for a nominal subject, and nominal subject is Ali. The next type is distributive adjective. It refers to each and every one separately. And the examples are either, neither, each, none, every. In this magazine, every advertisement is about sports. In this magazine, every advertisement, like if there are 10 advertisements, if there are 20 advertisements, so every advertisement is about sports and nothing else. This is the distribution of things. Distributive adjective can perform this function. The next we will study degrees of adjective. There are three degrees of adjective: positive degree, comparative degree, superlative degree. And the positive degree we use to show the quality of a noun, like it is also related to the adjective of quality. Ahmed is a tall boy, and Lahore is a big city. The second degree is comparative degree. It is used to compare higher or lower quality. The first example is Ahmad is taller than Ali. Like this is the comparison between two persons. The first person is Ahmad and the second person is Ali. Ahmad, the first person, is taller than the second person who is Ali. So it is the comparison. The second example, the rose is more beautiful than any other flower. This is the comparison between two things. The third example, he is healthier than I. Like he's the person more healthier, or he's the person who is healthier than I. I is the second person. The fourth example is the roots of Gift University are better than that of government college. So this example tells us that there is something about the rules. This is something about the rules. So the rules of two universities have been compared here. Comparison between the rules of two universities. So the next thing, that of actually represents the rules, because rules word has not been repeated here. So the rules of Gift University and that of Government College, they are representing the same thing. Like you can say the sentence in this way: the rules of Gift University are better than the rules of Government College. But it is not the exact sentence. The exact sentence is created in some other way, and the some other way is that when we use that of instead of repeating the word rules, we should not repeat the word rules. Third degree is superlative degree. It is used to show highest or the lowest quality of someone among others. And the example is Ahmad is the tallest boy of this class. And the second example is Lahore is the biggest city of Pakistan. In this example, we see that this is not the comparison between two persons or things. This is the best. This is the choice of the best thing among many things, among many persons. So Ahmed is the tallest boy of this class. Like in the class, there may be 50 students or more than 50 students, but Ahmed is the tallest boy. And Lahore is the biggest city of Pakistan. Like in Pakistan, there are many cities, but the Lahore is the biggest city. Thank you very much. Today's topic is kinds of adjective. So first read the following sentences. Sarah is a clever girl. I don't like that boy. He gave me 5 mangoes, and there is little time for preparation. In the first sentence, Sarah is a clever girl. Girl of what kind? Like if we want to identify adjective in the sentence. So here is the question, and we have to identify the answer of this question. Uh, Girl of what kind? Very clever. Here, the word clever is your adjective. In the second sentence, I don't like that boy. Which boy? That boy. That can be your adjective. In the third sentence, he gave me 5 mangoes. How many mangoes? Mangoes are 5. 5 word can be your adjective. In the next sentence, there is little time for preparation. How much time? Little time. So the word little can be your adjective. Clever is also adjective because it is modifying the noun girl, and it is also a characteristic. That is your adjective because that is modifying the boy. The boy is a specific boy. 5 is adjective because 5 is something about numbers, and the 5 is the modifier of the noun mangoes. And here, little is adjective. A little is also a modifier of the noun time because that is only a little time. And you can read the explanation of the sentences. In sentence 1, clever shows what kind of girl Sarah is, and in sentence 2, that points out which boy is meant. In sentence 3, 5 shows how many mangoes he gave me, and in sentence 4, little shows how much time there is for preparation. Next is the comparison between adjective of quantity and adjective of numbers. This is a very interesting comparison. The first sentence, I ate some rice and some boys are clever. And both sentences, the similar word is some, but in the first sentence, some is adjective of quantity, and in the second sentence, some is adjective of number. You can see here that some has been used with a noun that is uncountable, and in the second sentence, some has been used with the noun that is countable. So if the similar word some is used with uncountable noun, that is called the adjective of quantity, and if this same word is used with countable nouns, it is called adjective of number. And the second link, you can say the example, he has lost all his wealth and all men must die. The similar word is all, and all has been used with the word wealth. Wealth is uncountable, so here all is adjective of quantity. And in the second sentence, all has been used with the countable noun, that is man. Man is countable noun. So here all word is adjective of number. The same case you can see in the next sentences and the next examples. Like you have no sense and there are no pictures in this book. No is a similar word. Here no has been used with the sense that is uncountable noun. So no is adjective of quantity, and in this sentence